Hey, welcome. This is going to be a pretty short video, or maybe longer, I don't really know. These are just some thoughts I had after update 2 and everything, and then I finally just got time to write it all down. And I kind of want to make a video about it. So, how to improve Sonic Frontiers, in my opinion. And I've heard update 3 is going to add a lot of things. But that's not out yet, so all I can really do is dream. Little small changes I would make. I would add a Titan select, or just like a way to fight the Titans again without going through boss rush. Wow, I don't know why that was so hard to say. There is a mod for this that's just save files, but it's not exactly where you are, like currently. I want to fight bosses where I am in my current progression and not off someone else's save files because they don't always have the same things I do. My thought for how you could unlock it would just be like get all S ranks for the cyberspace towers, or is it called just cyberspace portals? Get all S ranks in those, but that's probably a little too easy. So what if you just like 100% the island? And then you'd get a little cutscene, and it makes a shut up phone. It makes a new portal. And yeah, you just get a cutscene, make a new portal, woo woo woo, and boom, you get to fight the bosses again. Cyberspace is just Sonic's memories, so why don't you get to relive the boss fights? Because I'm getting a little sick of just going through boss rush just so I can experience the good bosses. But I think that's good. I would also like a way to do the jukebox in those modes instead of needing their song, because some songs go really well. His World with the Supreme boss fight goes like, really well together, and I want to do that in game instead of just pulling up Spotify on my phone. Oh, yeah, speaking of jukebox, please. For the, what are they called, bosses on the ground. They're just running around, so like Caterpillar, Zula, Squid. Give them a setting so I can turn off their boss theme, so I can listen to Jukebox while doing the boss fight. And also get rid of the camera, especially with that one, I don't know its name, but it hops up in the air and like throws down 40 balloons that you have to pop. I find myself running off cliffs so many times because I'm running past it and the camera just zoops up in the sky. I don't like that. Get rid of it. Also, let the jukebox be for cyberspace too. The cyberspace levels, they have fine themes, but I don't always think they necessarily go with the level that they're like designated to. So you could do like the Sonic Generations route, where just before you go in a level, you can do change music, and then you have the entire catalog. I think that would work a lot better and feel like it would flow naturally. I don't know, it doesn't seem like it'd be that hard to add. Also, please add Sonic R music. It is so good, and I want to run through levels with it. Just the open world in general. I wanna do that. Please give me Sonic R music. I swear, you better do it. Please, Sega, please. Other small changes I think that could be made are just like when Sonic in the Ares Island, not Ares. What's the one with the towers? I don't remember. Aranos. No, fucking, what is it? Sonic in the Tower map. I don't remember the name of it for some odd reason. I could think of it perfect yesterday, but I don't remember it now. In that one, that's like Sonic at his worst, when he's like, how he's feeling throughout the game because of the cyber corruption. So what if while he's dashing, because in a lot of that, there is a big space between the towers. So what if while he's dashing, you do that little stumble animation that was kind of showed off in the first teaser trailer for the game, when Sonic's running through and he like stumbles a little bit. I think that would look good in the game. It would show that Sonic's getting a little weaker And I think to improve off of that, what if mostly Chaos Island, because Ares Island, he doesn't feel too much cyber corruption, but Chaos Island, what if you kind of slow down Sonic's attack animations? You don't have to like slow down the damage they're doing, but maybe just make him look a little weaker as he's going. So when he lands, maybe have him need to do like that roll that he needs to do, or like a roll to kind of brace for the fall instead of landing directly on his feet because he's getting weaker. The cyber corruption is taken over. I think that would be better. Also, add more jukebox songs. There's not that many. Well, I heard somewhere there's 40 songs. But out of the entire Sonic franchise, that's not that many. And I feel like they're missing a lot of good ones. Especially in Update 2, since most of the new songs added are just different versions of the main island themes. I don't feel like we really need that. Sorry, my nose is acting a little weird now. I don't feel like we really need those versions. I understand those versions are pretty good, but you should have added a lot more songs, because it can't be that hard, especially nowadays, because you can add like a bunch of songs. Music doesn't take up that much space, so having that would be fun, and people get to listen to their favorite song while running through the island. It's nice. Also, why is there so little costumes? It makes no sense that there's not like built-in costumes. You already got some costumes in there, so why aren't there others? You got the Christmas suit, what is it? Christmas suit, soap shoes, both Monster Hunter outfits, where it's like masked and unmasked or something. What is it? And with Update 2, the birthday and crown. So the birthday outfit for just getting the update, and then the crown for 100%ing all islands. But where is everything else? The customization should have been like Mario Odyssey, for example. That you have a bunch of outfits. You get Wedding Mario, Plumber Mario. Well, no, Mario's already a plumber. I meant the construction Mario from, what is it, Super Mario Maker? You have that outfit. Super Mario 64. Just give them a bunch of outfits. Sonics have different looks. I understand Sonic does have basic looks, but I mean, Sonic Riders, Jet Set Radio. I think of other things right now. I don't know. But he has different looks. Give it to him. Even if it's small things like the chip bracelet from Unleashed. The shoes from Adventure 1. Or that bracelet. I don't know, just do something with it. You can add more. For example, where you could put those, because rings kind of don't do a whole lot. And also skill points don't do a whole lot when you max out the thing, so you're just collecting and the game keeps giving it to you, so it feels like there should have been more. There's like Eggman ships laying everywhere. I'm pretty sure they're on every map, so use those. Why not? Maybe that was their intent and they ran out of time? But I feel like use them for something. I'm just not sure. Also, my biggest complaint with Sonic Frontiers is is it just true final boss or hidden final boss? The big rock. I don't like it. It's a 6-minute boss fight, on average, I'm pretty sure. And it's just you sitting there holding the triggers and dodging a little, while it just talks mad shit on you. Sonic Forces, that game's not that great, but the boss fight has 3 phases that are really good, actually. And it's the same length. And one feels that length, and the other doesn't. I don't know if you're gonna get that. The end boss fight feels long because it is, while the other boss fight doesn't feel that long because it's fun and there's other things happening. And this is Sonic Forces. The game's shit. I will say though, the end boss fight, the music is so good, and that's what makes the gameplay more frustrating, is because the music's good, but the gameplay's not. A final boss should test the skills of what the game has shown you. And what the final boss is like a Galaga ripoff that you do like twice in the entire game. And those are hacking minigames. I mean, they weren't fun then, but I don't think it was the final boss. Maybe that was just time constraints too. And I know they are talking about redoing all of that for Update 3. But this is how the game released. And I don't want to accept that. First thing I would fix is multiple phases. Phase 1, you can do that shooting game if you want. But make it, like, break a shell. Because right now it's just a moon. Make it a shell around a giant monster that you are just breaking with the shooting. And because if you look at that rock, the rock is ginormous. Here's the difference between Sonic and Supreme, and then Supreme and the end. So maybe the first phase you get... So after you destroy the shell and everything, you see a giant monster pop up, and it like smacks you into cyberspace or something. Because why not utilize cyberspace? In cyberspace, maybe the Chaos Emeralds don't work necessarily, so you kind of lose them. I don't know, just so you don't have your super form anymore, and it gives you a reason to try and get it again. But what if these levels in cyberspace, because cyberspace is just Sonic's memories, right? So what if they're not normal cyberspace levels, but they're kind of boss fights where you go and get close and grab the emerald? And it would be kind of like the beginning ones, but they'd shoot attacks at you instead of just walking around. I think the only one that's kind of that can be difficult to get to is Night, just because the spikes sometimes you don't always see it, or you run into a pit of lava. But what if, for like example, you could do Perfect Chaos, and it would shoot the water beams at you, just like in Generations where you're running around and shooting. It's like water tentacles at you. And while you're playing the stage, you're dodging that, so that you can get close to it, grab a Chaos Emerald, and then it would teleport you to a different boss fight. And after all that, you get the Super Emeralds, or you get the Chaos Emeralds again and go Super. And then I think something that would be really cool for how this boss fight could go, what if it was like the perfect Dark Gaia boss fight from Sonic Unleashed? You're flying around as Sonic, and you're breaking a little Chaos Shield it has, or whatever that purple spunk that came out of Supreme at the end. What if you're breaking that as Sage is distracting it with the Supreme suit? Supreme suit? I don't know if Supreme Titan, we'll call it that. And then after the shields are broken, you get to fight it like normal. After that, you go into the cutscene where Sage throws Sonic into the end and you go through it. And that's how that goes. I think that'd be really cool. And I know that seems like a lot to do, and it definitely is. But it also may not be the best thing, because it does repeat the losing Supersonic just to get it back to beat the enemy. But I still think it's a lot better than what we got. At least it would feel like a Sonic game. And I think it's called Ikagura. Or Ikagura. That's what the shooting stuff's based off of. I'll put some gameplay right here. But I think that's how you pronounce it. But for the final boss, why not go a little crazy with it? Get a little wacky. It's a Sonic game. Please do. And I doubt there's going to be another thing like cyberspace for a bit. So try and fully utilize it, because cyberspace is Sonic's memories. So it makes sense that maybe in the final boss, use his old enemies against him. It would show how far Sonic has overcome, or how much Sonic has overcome as a character. And just the things he's fought. He's fought time gods, a genie. He's fought like everything. So if you're trying to make this one seem really cool, why not have those and show Sonic beating him kind of easy and then him getting bodied by this? Doesn't that make sense? Because I feel like instead of just referencing battles, because I know it mentions Sonic fighting gods, but this thing is truly infinite, but it doesn't feel like it. It kind of feels normal. Yeah, it's a hard boss fight just because of what it's throwing at you, but it's mostly hard just because you're not used to it. I'm not good at Galaga, but I'm good at Sonic games, so I could probably whoop its ass if it was normal. But I can't when it's Galaga, you understand? Because I practiced it twice in the entire, 20-hour game. But, yeah, instead of referencing those battles, make Sonic relive them without his super form. That's what Generations did with Perfect Chaos. And it does let you show how far Sonic has grown, and that he doesn't need the emeralds for those forms, or that he doesn't need the Chaos Emeralds and go super to beat these enemies anymore. But he still does for this one. I don't know. It's just... It shows how far Sonic has come from a player perspective, of you fighting these old enemies and no longer having a super form against them. I understand some don't have super forms against them. I think the newer ones aren't, well, except Frontiers, of course. But it feels like it's wasted. Don't waste cyberspace, because null space from Forces was a wasted concept. It's cool because it's just a point of nothingness, basically a black hole. And the stage where you mainly show it, you get sucked into it, and it's like, oh, it's sucking everything in, it's impossible to escape. But it's just you, or your custom character and Sonic, fist bumping, or high-fiving. The song's called Fist Bump, but it looks like they do a high-five. But it's just them doing that, and then you're running a line for 7 seconds, and then you leave the entire stage. What if the stage was all cyberspace, and it was like cyberspace, or not cyberspace, why am I saying that? Null space. What if, when they did null space and it sucked you in, it's sucking in, the buildings and everything, because you're in the middle of a town, and Infinite just sets it there. So what if null space sucked in the buildings, and basically the level is you running around those buildings, kind of like Chaos City. Is that what it was called? Crisis City from 06. It'd be kind of like that, and it's Sonic basically improvising. I think that would have been a lot cooler than what they did in Forces. But this video is about Sonic Frontiers, so I'll try and stay on topic. What was I talking about? The end, as a boss fight. The first phase, like I said, break the shell, and then it would, I think, come out of that kind of like an egg, but make it something super cool and kind of scary. Give it an Eldritch, Lovecraftian look to it. Be menacing, kind of like how Dark Gaia was. That still is kind of little freaky to me. I don't like how its eyes open. It's gross. Or you can just straight up go like a godly route with it. Kind of like, I think this is how I pronounce it, Yaldroboth from Persona 5. I don't know how to pronounce it, I'm sorry, it's been a while. But that boss is really cool. Also, since it is space, maybe a cosmic theme works with it. I have a couple pictures that I found online. I think these would be kind of cool designs. I think they look nice. But there's just so much you can do with it. And for it to just kind of be a moon is a little underwhelming. Remember, this thing is the reason the Titans were built. And it's just a rock. So, it is super disappointing. Let's see, you need 7 Chaos Emeralds, so 7 boss fights. Kind of, but the 7 would take place in one area. Or in one phase, I mean, where it's the cyberspace. Bosses I would choose for that. You could either do the Death Egg Robot, and it's like a 2.5D thing where he's shooting his arms or rockets at you. Or you can do Metal Sonic, or actually both at the same time. Maybe you're racing Metal Sonic while the Death Robot's shooting stuff at you. And it could kind of act like the Shadow race from Generations. We're on the Space Colony arc running and you're just racing him to certain points. But you don't have to do the attack thing. But you can also do the Mania, the thing from Sonic Mania with Metal Sonic where he's breaking the floor under you. That sounds pretty cool. Or is it Sonic Mania, or am I thinking of Sonic 4 Episode 2? I don't know. Like I said, Perfect Chaos works, I think would work really well. The Bio Lizard, that shouldn't be too bad. Metal Madness from Sonic Heroes, because I think that's super cool. The reason I'm choosing a lot of these big, godly ones is to show that, yes, these ones are big and godly, but what you're facing right now is about 10 times worse. So that's why I'm choosing, like, bigger stuff. Metal Madness is a giant dragon thing that is super cool. His design's awesome. I know it may not be popular with a lot of people, but Soloris from Sonic 06. It was either that or the Time Eater from Generations. And I think Soloris looks a bit cooler. I like how he goes with the story, because it feels like he's actually a time god. I think he actually is a time god. I don't remember Generations too much, or 06 too much. But this one, I didn't really know which one I would rather go with, so I chose Eraser Jin from Sonic and the Secret Rings, is that what it's called? And Dark Gaia. The reason I was going to do Dark Gaia, but I think Eraser Jin more, because I don't want to have Dark Gaia in a game where I said, oh yeah, make the final boss basically the Dark Gaia fight, because I don't want those to be too connected that easy. Especially if I said basically use the design and everything. So Eraser Jin is a giant mythical genie. I think that'd be cool. He's kind of like a god in that world. He has a lot of power. And then obviously Infinite. I know Infinite's not that great of a villain, but this could have been a cool time to like maybe flesh him out a little. I mean, he's the only one of these that are really like a normal person. And the Phantom Ruby, you could show how that is pretty close to cyberspace, kind of. They are pretty different, but I don't know. Infinite, I think he can do a lot of cool stuff because of that Phantom Ruby thing. Remember, all of these are Sonic's memories, so they would attack kind of like how they would in their game. So, those are my picks for how to make Sonic Frontiers better. I understand half the video is just me remaking the final boss, and it's maybe not even that great of an idea, but I do think it is better than what we got. And I understand, some people are probably not going to like it, because they want to get rid of the nostalgia. And I understand. I don't like nostalgia too much either. I don't like Sega force-feeding it with us, with Chemical Plant, Green Hill Zone, and Sky Sanctuary. I'm sick of those themes already. And that sucks, because Chemical Plant was one of my favorite levels in, like, all of Sonic. I love Chemical Plant. But you ruined it, Sega. What was I even talking about? Oh, sorry, fuck. Yeah. These are little thoughts I had to fix Sonic Frontiers. Give me your opinions. If there's anything you'd like to add, comment below. Like and subscribe, unless of course you hated the video, then feel free to dislike or leave a comment on how I can improve, because I do want to improve. So please, just leave a comment of what you didn't like, so I can improve. Thank you. Goodbye. Oh fuck, I almost forgot. Persona 5 crossover, baby! Woo! You just give him a little mask and gloves and there you go. Bam, bam, bam. Doesn't this look good? Let's go!